My God, I hate trucks.
Breaking news at this hour, authorities responding to a fire along EDSA. Video show a bus engulfed by flames. This is on the northbound lane of the highway right in front of Mega Mall. No word yet on what caused the fire, but a witness tells CNN Philippines she heard what could have been an explosion. And let's look at live videos now from EDSA in front of Mega Mall. There's an ambulance right there. That's the area where there was a bus that was engulfed in flames. You saw earlier on one of our videos, this traffic at a crawl in that area. The MMDA says traffic tail end on EDSA northbound now extending all the way to Magallanes. Cause of fire is still unknown. We'll give you more details on this story as they become available. Those are, again, videos from that area in Mega Mall where a bus was engulfed with fire earlier, and we see firemen working and trying to put out the fire in that bus. And those are, again, pictures of that burning bus which was taken earlier today. Stay tuned to CNN Philippines for more updates on that. And a seemingly smooth jeepney ride gone horribly wrong in Cavite because of a reckless driver. Take a look.
Tulang! Tulang pa! Tulang! Tulang! Kuya, parang awan na! Kuya, parang awan na po! Kuya, parang awan na! Kuya, pababayin mo na kami, ha? Didimanda kita!
In the cell phone video, passengers were heard screaming, begging, and asking the driver to pull over while he was speeding. According to the uploader, Lois Miranda, the incident happened on Wednesday on their way to Tagaytay City. She said the jeepney driver in the Indang Tagaytay Mendez route was allegedly driving with a hangover. The mostly women passengers were horrified. A tricycle driver who heard them screaming tried to chase the jeepney. In another video, traumatized passengers are seen scrambling to get off from the jeepney. Some of them quickly confronted the driver, who stayed calm on his seat. Miranda said the jeepney driver has been identified and might face charges.
Adi ka ba? Ha? Adi ka?
It's graduation day for the Philippine National Police Academy's Sansi Club class of 2019. 201 new graduates will join mostly the police force, others in the fire and jail management bureaus. Their commencement exercises took place this morning in Silang, Cavite. New Police Inspector Jervis Ramos is class valedictorian, his mother a housewife, while his father passed away when he was 13. In his speech, Ramos tackled corruption in the police force and called on his classmates to avoid illegal activities.
Madalas nababalita ang mga iilang nasasangkot sa mga katiwalian at gawaing iligal. Ito ay mga hadlang na susukat ng aming katatagan at katapatan. Kailanman, huwag tayong masumpungan at manguna sa anumang baluktot na sistema at mga gawain. Bagkus, maging huwaran tayo.
Of the top 10 graduates, 6 are women. Top 2 is Police Inspector Mary Fin Carisusa, whose mother is a housewife and father a farmer.
Huwag po kayong mag-alala mga magulang kung yung pong mga anak ay gustong pumasok sa PNPA, mababae man po o lalaki, nire-respeto po ng akademya.
President Duterte led the graduation ceremony. The commander-in-chief reminded the new police officers to stand by their principles and resist temptation. In the meantime, President Duterte has formally banned junkets for government officials and employees. He is also requiring personnel of national government agencies to seek approval for local and foreign travels. Under Mr. Duterte's order, only certain international trips are allowed. These include conferences or meetings, speaking engagements, and receiving awards from foreign governments and international organizations. The president also says taking a personal leave immediately before or after an official activity is highly discouraged. Mr. Duterte has previously fired government officials for allegedly going on unnecessary trips abroad. An international law expert says it won't be easy going for former Philippine officials accusing Chinese President Xi Jinping of crimes against humanity before the International Criminal Court. Filipino fishermen are also worried about how the controversial move will affect them when they go trawling in the South China Sea. Anjo Alimario tells us more.
This is Chinese Coast Guard performing law enforcement duty here. You should leave here immediately.
It's a common sight since 2012 where Chinese vessels prevented Filipino fishermen from entering Scarborough Shoal. Joey Legaspi was one of those who suffered from the repeated harassment from China.
Ay naharas na, ang dami ng ginagawa nilang haharas tulad ng yung pagbubumba ng tubig. Sunod-sunod na yun. Tapos yung aakyat sila sa bangka.
Legaspi's statement was one of the affidavits used by former Foreign Affairs Secretary Albert Del Rosario and former Ombudsman Conchita Carpio Morales in their communication with the International Criminal Court. They alleged that Chinese President Xi Jinping committed crimes against humanity. But what was their basis? They claim, one, Xi and other Chinese officials caused livelihood and food deprivation against Filipino fishermen. And two, they undermined the long-term food security of Filipinos through widespread, severe damage to the marine environment. But an international law expert believes there will be legal challenges to the communication, including the effectivity of the country's withdrawal from the International Criminal Court.
How will the one-year period having elapsed, how will it affect the filing?
The country officially left the International Tribunal on March 17th. The communication was filed 2 days before the withdrawal took effect. And there's another issue, China being a non-state party to the ICC.
If you look at the ICC Rome Statute, if the action happened within the territory of the state party and the respondent is a national of a non-state party, the ICC still has jurisdiction.
President Duterte also pointed out China is a non-member of the ICC and insisted we were never part of the international body.
Remember, China is not a member of the ICC. Dito, we were never. We did not withdraw. We did not withdraw because there was no law at all because of the flood that it violated the Constitution.
Former presidential spokesperson Harry Roque commends the nationalism of Del Rosario and Morales, but he thinks their effort will not prosper. He explains China has not voluntarily agreed to submit itself to the court and the communication is not a referral from the United Nations Security Council. This means, he says, ICC has no jurisdiction. Legaspi says the situation in Scarborough Shoal has improved.
Okay naman, nakakapasok sila, nakakapangisda. Yun lang, nandun pa ulit yung nila, barko.
But Andres says that would affect the communication.
Regardless of whether the situation improved. So, because any crime that's committed will not actually be mitigated by any subsequent acts.
Legaspi fears that with a fresh legal challenge against China, fishermen will again be harassed.
Ang ko lang concern, baka di kaya na naman yung pag-initan doon, mga mangingisda.
He is also aware that even if the case against China prospers, Beijing won't honor the ruling, just like what it did to the landmark decision of the Arbitral Tribunal. Legaspi is not losing hope, though, that fishermen will enjoy the freedom of exploring our marine resources without any fear or threat from anyone.
Former Foreign Affairs Secretary Albert Del Rosario and former Ombudsman Conchita Carpio Morales earlier answered questions on their communication to the ICC, both of them insisting the court has jurisdiction over the matter and that they want to help Filipino fishermen earning a living in the disputed West Philippine Sea. Rex Remitio joins us from Makati with the details. So, Rex, what did the former officials say?
Well, they're saying that this is dedicated for the fishermen and women who have been affected by the China's building of artificial islands in the South China Sea. They're saying that about 320,000 fisher folk have been affected by the reclamation activities, and the impact on the environment has been massive, extensive, and devastating at best. And they've explained to us how they filed the complaint. Basically, Del Rosario said that that they just discussed this over breakfast, and they're thinking on how they can help the fishermen and women who have been affected by China's activities. And so they came up with a complaint, and they invited Morales afterwards to join their team, and then legal counsel Anne-Marie Corominas, who is also involved in the past case of the Philippines when the country filed its case before the arbitral tribunal, to personally deliver the communication to the International Criminal Court at The Hague in the Netherlands. And they're saying that this is like a case of David and Goliath, and they're hoping for the best. But at least, regardless of the result, what they did is to send a message that they will not tolerate the activities of China. They say that China's actions must not go unpunished, and Chinese President Xi Jinping and other officials must be prosecuted. Former Foreign Affairs Secretary Albert Del Rosario says a warrant of arrest can be issued to Xi himself by any of the 123 ICC member states. Del Rosario says that they're hoping that the ICC would at least recognize their case up to the level of preliminary investigation for now, although the ICC has yet to check or to give merits on the communication. And they're also saying that there's no need for them to inform President Duterte or any of the administration officials, because they think that there's another case filed against President Duterte before the International Criminal Court, and they're intending here that the international law must be applicable to all countries regardless of size. As to whether its impact to the Philippines and the relationship between the Philippines and China, they're saying that their focus first are the lives of the fishermen, and China must respect the Philippines in terms of its sovereignty. So that's the latest from here at the Manila Polo Club in Makati. Back to you.
Former Makati City Mayor Junjun Binay says politics may be behind the shooting of his longtime aide last night. Monet Bernardo is in critical condition after a motorcycle riding suspect shot her right hand in Barangay Olympia in Makati. The bullet went through her stomach. Binay tells CNN Philippines this is not the first attack on his supporters. Binay and his sister, incumbent Makati Mayor Abby Binay, are rivals in the mayoralty race. Abby has already ordered an investigation into the incident. Their father, former Vice President Jejomar Binay, is offering a 1 million peso bounty for the arrest of the suspect. Makati Police Senior Superintendent Rogelio Simon doubts there was intent to kill the victim based on CCTV footage of the incident.
Doon sa pag-ambush sa kanya, doon sa pagbaril sa kanya, is nakita namin very amateur yung ano. Kasi pagpasok niya, sinundan niya, isang putok, takbo agad. Without assuring na kung talagang itutumba yung tao,